I was so happy with this eye makeup when I first put it on. And now I'm realizing it doesn't really work on camera. All right, I did some tight lining, a little outline. I like that better. I feel like it still looks a little weird. I feel like my eyes look very much like this shape. Anyway, it's a special day. Today is a good day. And the reason today is a good day is because after 3 months, I finally felt ready to film my update number 1 for my 2022 Those Eyeshadow Palette Roulette series. And I'm feeling good about it. If you haven't watched my intro, you know, I've been doing this is now my 3rd year doing this series. And I decided to just be a little bit more laxed about it and give myself some more room, flexibility, and just space to not freak out about it and not feel like it had to be my number 1 priority. And I will say, like, as of right now, I'm pretty happy with that because I've found a lot of like fun ways to use these shadows, and at the same time, I've also brought a couple of more palettes into my collection while also digging back into old ones and being able to take time. And I don't feel like crap when I can't do my makeup, you know, like I don't feel like I'm letting anybody down. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Yeah, it makes me a little sad that I'm uploading less, but I figure, you know, if I get to a point where I want to go back to monthly updates, I totally can. And it's not a big deal. So let's just get into it. My hands are very dry. I have more coats of nail polish on this hand than on this hand. I'm wearing my UC Irvine sweatshirt, zot, you know, if you know, you know. My hair is, you know, I came from work and no one happened to be home, so I just figured this was a good time to do this. So I'm like talking so much that there's spit just building up in my mouth. But it's because I'm excited. I'm like really, wow. Okay, the first shade we're going to talk about is from my custom Buxom palette. The shade is called No Faux. I will show you what it looked like at the beginning of the year. Obviously, I have a beautiful little pan right there. Before January, I had used this 22 times, and then 2 uses into this shadow, I then hit pan in January. So a small part of me got all mad because I was like, why didn't I just wait to film that video? Why didn't I just wait and then I could have rolled this out? But it's okay. This was so much fun using. That's 24 uses total, which doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of those uses were for nail polish. And I definitely, like, there have been days where I've not tracked, so it's absolutely been more than 24 uses. But anyway, it's just been so much fun to use. The quality is still really good, and I got this, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, so I'm pretty impressed by that. But I am excited for this to be rolled out. It really dominated a lot of my looks. It doesn't work as an eyeliner, which sucks because it would be such a pretty eyeliner because it is this, if you can recall, like green, brownish, reddish, shifty shade, you know, back when like nobody could do duochromes, and if they could, this was the only one they could do. I'm still waiting for someone to explain that to me, because does anyone else remember that? Like, this was the only one. So No Faux is rolling out, and I feel great about it. The next shade is from Cella and Bella Beauty, from this little quad that I received in an Ipsy. I will show you what it looked like at the beginning of the year. And this is what we're seeing today. There we go. That kind of shows it better right there. Before January, I had used this 13 times, and I hit pan after 15 uses this year. So that is 28 uses total, which also doesn't sound like that many, but again, I used it on my nails a lot. And these pans are not deep at all, but it's just so pigmented that you really didn't, I really didn't need to use a lot to get like the kind of look I wanted to achieve. As you can see right here and here, hopefully I have at least 2. That was a time, it was a period of time, and now that period of time is over, and I'm not sad about it. The next shade I've been working on is called Terrace in my Escape Pod palette by Collidos. I love this palette. I say it every time. I probably don't need to keep saying it. But anyway, I will show you what it was looking like at the beginning of the year. And this is what we're seeing today. So a pretty decent dip. Honestly, this dip didn't really start like forming until recently because I've started using it as an eyeliner, and I've figured out like what I've been doing a lot is using it as an eyeliner and just kind of blending it out a little bit and then putting it on my lower lash line. And it's just this like super pretty, simple, neutral look. So I'm gonna keep using it that way. I just really enjoy it. And I wish that I had been doing that for, you know, like fall and winter and stuff, but it's okay. I mean, makeup has no season. But regardless, this is my dip. Before January, I had used this 10 times. And since then, I have used this 16 times. So that's 26 uses, which I'm not shocked. These pans are not deep. I do have pan in Starlight Sonata from a previous time. And that did kind of take a while, but you can see that the pan is not deep at all. I feel like I'm honestly pretty close, but I'm excited to keep working on this. It's been so nice pulling this out. I don't know if you can tell, but I definitely have gotten more usage in it. The little like escape thing right here, that's almost gone entirely. You can see usage in like pretty much all of these. For some reason, this purple looks so intact, but maybe it's just the one I've used the least. Well, anyway, the next shade that I have is Crystal from the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. I'll show you what it looked like at the beginning of January. And this is what it looks like today. So a little bit of a dip, but anyway, I genuinely don't know how to describe it. It's kind of a gold. Well, okay, now that I put it on camera, it looks insanely gold, but like that's not really how it shows up on the eye. It's just kind of like shimmery and sparkly and it's pretty, but it doesn't lean too much like warm or cool. It's very neutral. It kind of like works with almost anything. I rolled this in January, and since then I have used it 14 times. I really like pulling this out. I feel like I don't use this enough. Like this green right here, it's just like one of the prettiest shadows I've ever seen. This blue is super gorgeous. This is probably like one of my favorite neutral shimmers to use. So we are keeping Crystal in here, and it's a good thing. I really should have cleaned the, oh my God. Okay, this is probably gross that I'm doing that. The next shade is called Optimistic, or just kidding, it's Optimist from the Miss Bliss ColourPop palette. I will show you what it looked like in January. And this is what it's looking like today, a nice, big, beautiful pan. Lately, I've been like hitting pan on the sides, which is weird. That's not really like something I would do before. But as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess, and that's because I was using this a lot as a blush, which frankly didn't help me much. I rolled this in January, and since then I've used it 21 times, and that's when I hit pan. But again, most of those uses were blushes. It wasn't until I started putting this kind of like on my lower lash line with a denser brush that I was seeing more progress. And I'm super excited about that. That means that out of 5 shadows, I have 3 pans, which is super exciting. I have a few new new palettes in my collection, so I'm gonna go back there and rummage through them and decide, you know, which ones I'm willing to pull in, and we will get started with the number rolling. Okay. These are all the palettes that I would not mind pulling shadows from. As you can see, I'm feeling pretty open. I don't even know how many there are here, but I will know in a second. Lots of these are springy, either springy shades or just palettes that, oh God, that's actually hurting my hand. There are 14 here. I'm gonna roll 3 numbers from 1 to 15, and then I'm gonna say that 15 is my single shadows, or are my single shadows? Or is it is, because 15 is one number. I just really feel like I forgot how to film alone. At this point it's easier with Emma because there's somebody I can play off of. But now that I'm just by myself again, I'm like, I really don't know how to do this anymore. I have no idea why I wasn't sitting down here before. This is so much more comfortable. All right, so I've got 1 through 15 and we are counting from bottom to top. You can't see the stack, but I promise you it's here. And let's roll. 12, okay. Ooh, all right. This is a newer palette to my collection that has not been in this project before, and it is the That's Taupe by Colourpop. I've really been into these kind of color stories lately, and this is just so gorgeous to me. I really love this palette, and I'm excited to get my grubby little hands on it a little bit more. 2, okay, cool. So this is Pebble Beach. I mean, all of these are gonna be very cool tone, but this is just sort of a brownie. Maybe someone in the comments can help me out. Yeah, just a very cool tone brown. I think this is so pretty. I think that this is gonna work really well for me, just in the crease blended out, especially like, I mean, that in and of itself could be an entire look. If I'm just wanting to go for something really like simple, but I want to feel a bit more dolled up. You know, it's called eyeshadow for a reason. You're making shadows and that's the idea. So that is what this shade is absolutely perfect for. Look at these 3 together. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? And we're now gonna roll 1 through 14 because I am taking that palette out of the running. 1. Ooh. You have not seen this one in a while. This is the 35i by Morphe. This is the 35i, and I recently discovered, I believe while I was filming, that it's 35i and not 35-1, which is hilarious because that is clearly an I. But anyway, this is what the outside looks like. And I'm super excited because obviously all these pastels, perfect for spring, even though like these lower 2 rows just are not pastels at all. But all of these shades are up for grabs to be rolled in. I want to say, I mean, clearly except for this one because I do have pan in it, but the pressed glitter, I don't think I'm gonna count that one. A lot of them right now, as you're looking at them, probably look really similar, but a lot of them are kind of like topper type shades. So anyway, I'm very excited about this. Let's get rolling. Number 1 through 33. We got shade 20. Pardon me, this is gonna take a moment. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Interesting. Let me double check. All right, this is a gray. And that actually kind of works out well because lately I've been into a little bit of like a grayscale monochromatic type look. I don't think, it looks like I've swatched this. It does not look like I've ever used it on my eyeballs, and I don't recall ever using it on my eyeballs. So let's go ahead and swatch. I honestly don't even really remember. It's very soft. I mean, the other one was super soft too. Yeah, just a very light gray. Pretty dusty. To be frank, I don't really know how I'm gonna use this, but that's kind of the magic of what we're doing here, isn't it? I do not have the sheet on me that has all of the color names, so I'm gonna have to look that up and insert it right here. Do you see? This is the name of the shade. Told you I'd do it. And I did it. You're welcome. This is now the color story. Interesting. I feel like these look nice and that looks nice, but altogether I'm not really sure what's going on. Again, like I said, I have no idea how I'm gonna use this. It could be nice as a base for like pastel shades, perhaps. So we have one more shade, and let's roll that one in. 11. This, believe it or not, this is new. You couldn't tell by the packaging, but this is the Essence Taupe It Up eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go ahead and say right now, if I don't roll one of these shimmers in, I'm gonna re-roll because I've got this gray here. And then that one is sort of like a lighter version of that right there. So I have my hope in mind, and by just looking at this palette, you could probably guess what I'm hoping it is. But we are going to roll 1 through 6. 2, I knew it. I must say, I knew it. This shade is called Saturday Night. That's fun. I like how the little like picture back here, that is not what the palette looks like at all. Like, you cannot tell me that that is the same. I'm sorry, but you just can't. Anyway, Saturday Night. Let's go ahead and swatch it. As you can see, I have used this before, and I'm super excited. I mean, come on. Okay, first of all, these look amazing together, and you know what? I think I'm gonna wear that tonight. And tonight is shit. Tonight is Saturday night. I think I'm gonna make it a goal to wear this shade every Saturday night. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna be that hard because it's so gorgeous and I'm so into these like cool tones right now. It's so crazy. Me from a year ago would have looked at this and been so disappointed that there's no color here. But I'm so excited. I think all of these are such beautiful shades. I feel like I got a really nice mix of colors. It's so interesting to see how much my taste has changed from honestly even just like 6 months ago. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it, especially since I'm not doing this monthly anymore. It means a lot to me that you are still interested in looking at this series if you've been with me and you're still wanting to see my updates even though I'm not as consistent as I used to be. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. If you're new and you have your own Those Eyeshadows series, let me know. I would love to watch. And I just want to say is it spring yet? I don't know. Who cares? Happy spring. I'm so happy to see you here. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are healthy. And if you're not, I hope you feel better soon. And I promise that you will. And go out there, get some sun because it's likely sunny. Or if it's nighttime, I'm gonna repeat what I've said in a past video. If it's nighttime and you've been looking for a sign to go to bed, this is the sign to go to bed. Okay? Anyway, it was so great. Oh, and perfect timing. My roommates are home. I have to go run and hide. Bye!